In this video, I'm going to show you how I wrote an NFT smart contract in Rust, then deployed it to Stellar's Soroban smart contract platform. I deployed this to testnet and mainnet, so if you want to mint your own NFT, I'll show you how to do that at the end of the video. So this is the NFT we're going to be deploying, this little Stroopy character here on a space background, the Stellar logo. This is just an image. I've uploaded this to IPFS. I've uploaded both the image itself and metadata and a JSON format. If we zoom in here, you can see we've got the name, description, URL, which is that image, the issuer, which is the deployer address, and then the code, which is like a symbol for the contract itself or the token. This is loosely based on set 39. If we scroll down, you'll see this here, which is very similar. So this is a standard within the Stellar ecosystem for tokens. All the code for this is open sourced on GitHub. You can find a link to that in the description. So if we go into the source now and go into Soroban NFT.rs, this is the main contract file. If you've used ERC721 contracts before, this will look quite familiar. We've got some hard-coded data in the top here. We've got the supply, which is the maximum amount of tokens that can be minted. The Soroban NFT is the name, the symbol, and then a hash for the metadata, which is that JSON data we looked at earlier, and the hash for the image, which has also been uploaded to IPFS. We've got some public functions to kind of get this data and check the ownership of who owns what token. We've got transfer functions, a mint function. There's no actual restrictions on the mint function. There's no kind of whitelists or kind of logic to prevent Sybil attacks. That's one thing to bear in mind. If you did want to use this in production, you probably want to add something along them lines. Got approve functions and transfer from, which is pretty standard if you've used any other kind of token contracts in the past. And all we're doing is when someone mints a token, we set the current token count, which is also the token ID, to the ownership of their address. They can then transfer that to someone else, but for all intents and purposes, every NFT is using the same image. Again, if you want to do like a PFP drop, you'd have to add some custom logic in so that every single token ID had a different image. So some prerequisites if you want to deploy your own contract, you need the Rust set up on your system and also the Stellar client. And you need an account with an IPFS provider. In this case, I've used Pinata. You can upload the metadata in the image just by clicking add, file upload, and then the metadata is just saved in a standard text file. So you'll upload them images and you get an IPFS address like this. If you append ipfs.io/IPFS to that hash, you'll be able to call that information using a standard DNS web lookup. I'm in the main directory and I'm going to run cargo test to run the unit test to start with. That's all fine. Let's go ahead and build this now. We're going to use cargo build, target, WebAssembly, and use the release flag. Let's create an optimized target, and we can now deploy that to the network. I'm going to be deploying this to testnet first. And if that goes through, we should see a contract ID. Here we go. Let's deploy this to mainnet now. We sign that transaction. And we've got a contract addressed on mainnet. Go ahead to stellar.expert, pop this contract address in, and we can go into this interface and we can see all our functions here. We can put this contract address in here using Stellar contract invoke. And then I'm going to take my account address, pop that in here. I'm going to mint myself a token. Let's check that's worked. You can see it's returning our address as the owner of token ID 1. Note the code provided here is for demonstration purposes only. It hasn't been thoroughly tested, it hasn't had a security audit, it's not really fit for production use. Use at your own risk. Hope you enjoyed this video. If you want to learn more about Soroban development, then there's some links in the description. Thank you for watching.